Hi everyone, it's Mary Joan here with the first time mom. This isn't what I expected, and I must first apologize because I've been negligent in getting to doing these videos. And it's not because I don't want to, it is because I'm quite busy, and I'm actually really busy recording and getting ready to launch the online program that's going to be available for women and families to help navigate the emotional adjustments after having baby. I'm so excited. It's called Motherhood Made Simple. So I've been pouring my heart and soul and lots of time into it. So it's going to be ready to launch soon. So I'm excited. But in the meantime, I want to give you some more information to help you navigate the changes that happen in a relationship when a baby comes along. And when you think about the partner you love and you think about this tiny little person that you've created out of that love, of course, we are excited and we're looking forward to the experience. But it's also natural and understandable for couples to feel like they hit some, pretty significant bumps in the road when they bring their baby home. And it's natural. It can feel disconcerting. It can feel upsetting. And if we're not prepared, it can feel kind of scary thinking like, oh my goodness, what's happening to us? Is our relationship going to survive? And with some realistic expectations, with some good planning, your relationship can not only survive, but thrive. However, at the same time, if you have unrealistic expectations, if you're not prepared, if you don't set out a plan of how you're going to navigate through this, it could create some really big challenges in your relationship. So we want to avoid that if we can. So today's installment is going to be 3 tips to help with keeping the closeness and connection in your relationship and trying to avoid some of the challenges and pitfalls that some couples will experience. And, there's research on this, guys. So the research shows that marital or relationship satisfaction declines significantly after the birth, especially of a first baby. If you've been together for a period of time before, you've enjoyed a relationship where you can kind of do your own thing, have a lot of autonomy and independence. But when a baby comes along, your time is no longer your own. The workload and the demand is insane. It just is so intense. And then, of course, throw in sleep deprivation just to make things interesting. And it can be a setup for a challenge and for some even disaster. But with some good expectations, some good planning, you can avoid that. So 3 tips today, and then I will come to you again with some additional tips to add on to this. So first of all, communication. We know how important communication is in any relationship, and particularly when are having a new baby or have just had a new baby, communication is really important. However, in our sleep deprived, fogged state, it can be really hard to communicate well. But I want to give you one sort of simple thing to think about, and that is my communication helping or is my communication hurting? So obviously, if the communication is helpful, nurturing to the relationship, kind and compassionate, then we're in the right ballpark. If our relationship or if our communication is sarcastic, biting, filled with anger, filled with resentment, those kinds of things, then the relationship is going to suffer because the communication is hurtful. So I know that you're tired. I know that it's hard, but if you can keep your mind to those 2 pathways, is my communication helping? Is my communication hurting? That's at least one simple way to try to keep yourself over to that path that is either going to be helpful or at least neutral. And when we do have a moment where we say something hurtful or we have that edge to our tone and we can see that our partner's reacted to that, it's important to apologize. It's important to say, I know that didn't come out well. And it's okay and important to say, I'm sorry. Okay, so next tip. So communication number 1. Next tip is breaking the silence about how hard parenthood is and the downsides of parenthood. So when we kind of get caught up in this idea that it's supposed to be the best time of our life, it's supposed to be so amazing, we're supposed to enjoy every minute, we can sometimes feel like we can't talk about the parts that are hard, or we can't be honest about the parts that maybe we don't like. So it's important, I think, in terms of your couple relationship to keep the closeness so that the two of you can be honest about those hard points. It doesn't mean that you don't love your baby. It doesn't mean that you are unhappy that you've done this. It just means that there are parts that are hard. And when we can be open and honest, especially with our partner about that, that can be helpful. And it also creates a safety so that if the partner is feeling, yeah, these parts are hard for me too, it creates a space where you can kind of come together and share and sort of bond together. And you want to sort of hold the hope that it's not going to stay this hard forever. But I think having that vulnerable honesty can be really helpful in terms of just keeping the two of you feeling closer. Okay, third tip is to be clear about who your helpers are going to be. You guys, as a new couple or as new parents in your couple relationship, it's important to have helpers. You know, there's that old saying, it takes a village to raise a baby, and it is absolutely true. So if you have helpers lined up and you have helpers who are going to come in and give you guys a break, that is going to do amazing wonders for how well you cope, how well you keep sort of balanced, and then again, how well you guys do together in terms of your relationship and managing the stress of it. So it's important that both partners get the opportunity to have some downtime alone. And, you know, a bonus is if you can have some help where the two of you might be able to go for a walk together or go pick up a tea together. You know, taking time to be able to have a little bit of time away from the demands of caring for the baby can also be really helpful. So, 3 tips today: communication, being open about the downsides of the parenting journey, and knowing who your helpers are. Try to put those in place to the best of your ability, and I feel pretty confident that they will help make a difference. I will come back to you again with some more tips to add on to that to help your relationship navigate the changes that come along with a new baby. I will look forward to connecting with you next time. Bye for now.